Chapter 5 in $2 a Day delves into the Mississippi Delta, a region in Mississippi, distinctively in the northwest section, that is rarely ever talked about. Counties in this area record poverty rates well over 40%, with child poverty rates surpassing 65%. This region is also known for its rich farmland. A few decades ago, plantations once employed thousands. That is not the case today.
So our story is really one of people wanting to work, seeing themselves as workers, taking pride in that work status, eschewing welfare, thinking of welfare is something that's really unacceptable, right? Almost, something that violates their sense of who they are. But yet, the bottom of the labor market has become so degraded, and employers are eking out efficiencies from labor practices.
With no money coming in, businesses started to slowly die off. Jobs are becoming scarce, buildings are barely maintained, and some counties don't even have any police officers at all. With no jobs, most households turn to the government for help. But Mississippi is a place where the cash safety net has all but disappeared, with only 0.6% of the population being covered in the fall of 2014.
But it occurred to me that perhaps, even though we had judged welfare reform a success because so many people had left the rolls, perhaps an entirely new class of poor folks had arisen under our very noses that we hadn't even noticed. In fact, a group so poor that we didn't study them because we just assumed they didn't exist.
This has caused a shadow economy, an economy different from the usual. Illegal stores, prostitution, drugs, you name it. It's what people do to get by here. And with no officers to enforce the law, no one can stop it. With no law enforcement here, people get taken advantage of, with slumlords owning up to 70% of housing in a single town, with no penalty for how they treat or if they even take care of the buildings these people live in. The education here is horrible, with most teachers just handing out A's, and only a small percentage of students actually moving on to college. This has sadly become the norm for kids growing up in this region, and some are even taken advantage of, with no legal action being done to truly stop what's going on. With no money to be made, people have gone to desperate measures to get by. Some others have gone into prostitution just to keep the lights on. Others have found different ways to get by. Martha, for example, has started a small business in her home to get by. She sells popsicles and snacks, nothing over $1. And the sad part about this is the government sees this as an illegal act, and could stop by any time and shut her business down. That is her only source of income. Without it, she would lose her home and not be able to take care of her kids. Seems there's no hope, but some people do what they can. For example, Mr. Patton, a teacher, has helped many students, especially Tabitha. He helped her get glasses, get by in school, and eventually move into college. He also helped when another teacher was found to be taking advantage of her. There's only so much one person can do, though, and we need more people like Mr. Patton to help these students in this region. And all they could do is do what they can to get by and make sure the lights are on and some food in their bellies. We need government support here. We need more people like Mr. Patton helping. Seems help may never happen though, because even after 50 years, when Robert Kennedy first visited and saw how the region was, nothing has changed. Government has not really helped here. But until that happens, these people just have to live on hope.